Hello again, and thanks for joining me today for another talk. We're going to be doing fear. Fear Part 2. FEAR. False evidence that appears real. But the reality is that we all suffer from fear. And we will always suffer from fear. Fear is a necessary mechanism in our lives. It is very necessary. It helps you to make decisions in situations so that you are not putting yourselves in danger, and also it helps you to run away from harm. But a lot of times we are fearful because of new situations, and new situations demands things from us that sometimes we don't think we don't have. We think, and it goes from everything to we don't feel good enough. Right? In some situations, we don't feel capable enough. We don't feel smart enough, and the list goes on. And we become very intimidated sometimes. And because of that intimidation, we fear. And we get ourselves into what I would call modes of freezing, meaning you just freeze up and you just don't move forward from where you are. So rather than rambling on about that part of it, I'd like to talk to you about overcoming fear, and I'm going to use just simple experiences, and you can take the attitude from these experiences and apply them to just about any situation that you might be in. Overcoming fear. There was a time in my life, or there is a time in all our lives when we feared everything. I was going to say there was a time in my life when I feared everything, but I like to include us all in this. My first time at the beach with my father, I think I was about 5 years old, and that was quite the experience. And here's my dad decided he was going to spend some time with me, take me to the beach. And I got to the beach, and the next thing you know, I was crying. I didn't want to get into the water. And here were all these other kids in there having fun and carrying on and playing, and I was afraid. And so my dad was a bit, I don't want to say upset, but it's like, okay, I went through all this trouble to bring you down here to have some fun, and look as though you're not going to have any fun, so let's go back home. So we went back home. By age 11, I was back at the water again, and at that point in time I developed the courage to go into the water. By age 12, I was a very good swimmer. By age 16, I was swimming alone one day, and where I grew up, we were always close to the sea, believe it or not, even though I was afraid of the water. And we would go, especially in the summer, we spent all summer at the beach, and we would swim in groups, and we would swim really far out into the ocean. Sometimes we had the tankers docked where we were living, and we would swim out and go touch the tankers. And so one day I was at the beach by myself, and I decided to go for a nice long swim. And during that nice long swim, I got a severe cramp in my leg, and that changed things again for me. I had to swim back to shore with one leg, and in all that pain, and hoping that I didn't drown. And what I learned was maturity. I learned that there is true danger, and I had to protect myself from danger. So guess what? I never did that again. I went from being afraid of the water to getting into the water, to learning to swim, to being a good swimmer, to being a reckless swimmer, and then to become a mature and responsible swimmer. And all because I learned from my experiences. See, experiences has all the information that you need to progress from one level to the next level in life. What are you afraid of? When most of the time there is nothing to be afraid of. But what you need to do is to analyze the situation, see what the situation requires from you. If you are lacking, meaning you're feeling that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, or whatever the case may be, then you go and learn some information, and then you come back again and you tackle the situation, and then you take it from there. I had a real I sing. Well, you can tell I have my music and that has quite a story behind it. There was a time when I was afraid to sing, and you know what, where that fear came from? A gentleman and I, we were buddies growing up, we went and sang in a competition. By the time before we could be halfway through the song, the whole group that we were singing to was outside the building laughing. And after that, it's like, wow, I guess I'm not a good singer. Then I did music lessons way later in life, and I told my teacher my experience, and he said, gee, that was very traumatic. And I learned not to appreciate my voice, but then after a while I had to understand why. And I started taking voice lessons, and the next thing you know, I did 2 albums actually, and one is actually selling on the internet right now. Not the one that I'm selling, you know, on self-development. There's another one that has to do with the Psalms. So I went from being afraid to sing to singing, and what I learned was I had to learn to sing, and so I learned to sing, and so now I sing, right? And that's how you overcome fear. You find out what the situation requires from you, and you take the time to learn and to grow and to mature, and then to go back and handle the situation all over again. There is a book out there that's called Feel the Fear and Deal with It, right? I learned that water is harmless, and I can swim and have fun, right? I learned to develop sensibilities about swimming, and then I became a mature and responsible swimmer, and today I'm still a very good swimmer. So you got to feel the fear, and you got to deal with it. You got to understand why and why you're afraid, and you have to overcome that. And all that I'm teaching you today in all my videos is to really believe in yourself. But there are so many things that we have to overcome sometimes before we can actually believe in ourselves, and fear is one of those things. We are afraid, and there is really, honestly, nothing to be afraid of. Nothing. It's up to you to believe. It's up to you to change. It's up to you to go back and face the moment. Now, I'm not going to ask you to do anything crazy, but a lot of people who are doing crazy things, a friend of mine, the way she overcome her fear, she had a lot of fears, she conquered them all by going parachuting, jumping out from a plane. Right? And she conquered the fear that way, and after that point in time, she believes she can do just about anything, right? So I'm not asking you to do that, but what I'm asking you to do is the situation that you're in that is causing you to be fearful and doubtful of yourself, because the next thing that follows fear is doubt, and once you doubt, you fall. So I'm teaching you to overcome fear so that you rise, you don't fall. But understand the situations that you're in, understand what is required of you, the benefits of overcoming the fear, because a lot of times we do need that caviar or that carrot, and then you go from there, and you develop the strategies, and most of it is more self-development, believing in yourself, and going back and saying, I can indeed do this. Like I had to say, I can learn to swim, I can learn to sing. And you believe it, you find out what it takes to be a good swimmer, what it takes to be a singer, you learn those things, and then you go back and swim, or you go and sing. And whatever it is in your life that you need to do, just go do it and have fun. Have fun doing it, but more so have fun learning and growing and becoming a more confident person than a fearful person. Thank you for joining me today. I wish you all the best and see you again on my next video. And remember, my songs are for this purpose only, to develop you, but develop you quickly, so that you don't have to go reading a whole bunch of books and studying a whole bunch of material. Just listen to the music and the music will transform you. Choose any song you like or buy the whole album. It is up to you. But they are there to help you transform immediately. Not 6 months down the road, next 3 years. No, immediately. So go to e4women.com and sample the songs. I'm not sure how much you can sample, but buy them. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed, and it will help you overcome a lot of the things that you need to overcome in life to be successful. But also the strength that you need to be successful, you will definitely get it from those songs. So go there today, have a look, and happy listening. Cheers.